coveted Security Plus certification. Is it worth it? Will it change your life? Is it still relevant? Yes. And no. If you're new here, my name is Nate. I work in IT and cybersecurity, and today I'm going to break down what the Security Plus certification even is and how I studied for it and passed it first try in 30 days. So if that interests you, make sure you subscribe and like this video and comment down below what certification you're going for next. So with the Security Plus certification, I literally scuffled my feet to try to study for this and take the exam. So with the Security Plus, when I started studying for it, I actually started studying for like a year ago. And when I say study, I literally was not studying. I was looking at a book and being like, oh, well, here's some concepts, or oh, here's this. I just was undisciplined, okay? I had no sense of urgency. It was so bad that it got to the point to where I forgot that I actually scheduled the exam. And I had purchased the retake voucher and the main voucher, of course. And I used the main voucher and I had to rely on the retake voucher to pass. So essentially, if I didn't pass this, I just wasted like $700.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
After wasting the voucher and realizing, hey, I haven't really studied for this and I need to lock in, I marked out, I booked the next one 30 days out, and I was like, if I can't get this between this date, it's just not for me. So what I did was I used the Sybex book, read it cover to cover, almost a chapter or more a day, did all the practice questions. I watched Professor Messer videos on certain topics that I didn't understand because he has a really good way of condensing it down into bite-sized information to where it's not that hard to digest. Then I did his practice exams, and once I was getting 85 to 90% on those practice exams, that's when I went and took the test and I passed first try. Now, I'm going to tell you about a couple of different key things that I did throughout this process that's a little bit different than most. Now, with the Sybex book, there's also a practice exam book that you can buy in pairs. So a lot of times on Amazon, they actually sell it on a discount, and I think I got it for like 30 bucks. So highly worth it. It's literally still on my shelf. I think it's a great tool. Now, with the Professor Messer videos, I encourage you to watch it start to finish, but if you're using the Sybex book like I was mainly using Professor Messer as kind of like a help. So the areas that I was testing week in, and I'll tell you in a second how I figured out what areas I was testing week in, that would be the videos that I would go watch to kind of sharpen and refine, and then I would do more practice questions, and then once I was starting to pass all those practice questions, I felt confident.
Where's your rope, Ignacio?
It was stinky, but these are my recreation clothes.
Now, let's break off into where things started kind of getting different. I used ChatGPT. Sue me, I know, sue me. But I gave it the Professor Messer practice exams because in the exam is actually the grading key. And I told it, here's my practice test that I just took, grade it, but then also take those areas based off the CompTIA exam objectives and tell me what areas I'm severely lacking in. And it did it.
Can a robot write a symphony? Can a robot turn a canvas into a beautiful masterpiece?
Can you?
Which is crazy because the next practice exam I took, I was like, hey, I'm just gonna trust it. I'm just gonna see what happens. And I studied the areas that it said I was weak in. I took the next practice exam, and that's where I got like a 90, I believe. And I was like shocked. Like I was actually kind of like spooked. I was like, holy crap, that worked. So then after that, I would just rinse and repeat that, right? With the pack, you get 3, so I had taken 2. So I took some time, really devoted more practice questions from the Sybex material in the areas that I was weak in. And then by the time I was taking my next practice exam, it was the day before the exam, I got a 93%. And at that point, I was like, hey, listen, if I don't pass this exam, it's on me. I went and took the exam the next day, passed first try. Was that ideal? Was any of that process good? I don't know, but the moral of the story is I passed first try, and that was what I did to do it. Security Plus is totally obtainable in 30 days. You just kind of have to be a psychopath about it.
And I thought my jokes were bad.
Now, when it comes to taking the actual exam, I would 100% recommend going to take it in person, okay? So the reason why I recommend this is because proctored exams, they are rough, right? You have to show your whole room, you have to show under your keyboard. If there's a screen reflection in the back, you have to show that. It's just unnecessary, and it makes you feel more uncomfortable and more on edge. Going into the exam center in person strips away all distractions. It's literally just just you in a room and a computer, and you know that it's just you in that test. They also give you some writing materials. Sometimes they have a whiteboard, sometimes they have a pen and paper. That's super helpful. Overall, just felt like a better environment. The dude at the front desk was also super chill when I walked in, so that also made me feel better. I don't know. Moving further into taking the actual exam, skip the practical questions at the start, okay? You get around, I think, anywhere between 3 to 5. I got 4. Skip them completely. Go ahead and knock out the multiple choice questions, because that's going to take you no time at all. If you're really studying, those multiple choice questions should not be a problem whatsoever. Flag the ones you have issues with, come back to them later, but do the multiple choice questions first. And for the love of God, do not leave anything blank. Answer every question, even if you don't know it, even if you stumble upon a question that you have not covered yet somehow. So then that brings us back to the practical questions. All right, these are I wouldn't even really call them simulations. They're just more advanced multiple choice questions. It could be something like, hey, configure this network to be redundant, or hey, this managerial pipeline needs to approve this thing. And it goes on throughout these different scenarios. Do not expect to do well in these. Or, I mean, if you do, more power to you. But if you are just like, I had 0 tech experience before taking this exam, okay? This was the first certification I ever got, which is very ambitious of me, but it's possible. Okay, that's what I'm here to show you. Don't expect to do well on those. Try to focus your energy on the multiple choice questions, because the more of those you get right, the more it counterbalances the practical question. CompTIA is a little booger, and they don't tell you how they grade the exam, so it makes it kind of hard to say, I got this grade here, this is how I got that grade there. Overall, it's an entry-level exam. It's meant to weed out the people that don't want to put the reps in, so you could do that in a like healthy amount of time, probably like, you know, I would say 3 months would be acceptable, or you could do it in a super unhealthy amount of time, like 30 days like I did. Don't recommend that, and still pass, okay? You just have to put in the reps. Moral of the story, it's possible. You just have to be dedicated. You just have to have motivation. That's the only thing. Other tools that I used were Notion to take notes. I was taking handwritten notes, but that got kind of tiring. Being able to just have like a massive brain dump, I highly recommend you brain dump after every study session you have. Hey, this is what I went over today. This was the context. These were kind of keywords that stuck out to me. Just brain dump. It may not amount to anything to you, but it's your brain actively recalling what you went over. And the last and final tip that I will give you, that is honestly more important than any of this stuff: study and then take a break. Come back to it. It's not going anywhere. Your brain will thank you. If you have any questions about the Security Plus exam, about cybersecurity, about information technology in general, drop it down in the comments below. This is my first YouTube video, my first long form content. So if you want to see anything, also drop that in the comments below. But I'm happy you're here. I hope this helped. I hope it gave you some insight, maybe different tips or tricks, but really the moral of the story is just be dedicated and you'll be fine. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next set of videos I have in store. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss them, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.